All right, now we're talking Carson's own Reason, hip hop artist who just dropped "Moving Towards Love," Pink. So this is the part of this color series that he's got going on. But this joint dropped on the 24th of April, just a couple weeks ago. This is the second chapter in this four-part color series, picking up right where everything in my soul, which was the blue joint, where that left off earlier this year. The rollout's been intentional. He brought "Who the Fuck You Blaming" onto there was a on the radar, I think on the radar radio that he was they're performing at. He had a part of the rollout was he had a I think a like a live performance over at this coffee spot in LA, Hilltop Coffee. I think Issa Rae did some joint. There a bunch of celebrities in LA that pop up just like and do so there. So shout out to and it's a black owned business too. So low key the community centered approach that he took here matches the energy of the music. The concept is simple once you really step into it. Um, it's this particular stage of a relationship. Again, this series and this thing. So there's like honeymoon. He even says it at the end of the first track. Um, it it it, it runs the track runs out and he highlights it. He says honeymoon, right? So you think about the different stages of relationship. There's a honeymoon phase, there's a vetting part where you're really starting to kind of see the person who where it's like the representative starts like releasing the grip of control. You start seeing the real person. Not to say they're good or bad, but you kind of see like the difference, right? You start picking, and then like the reality sets in where it's like, oh, okay, this is who this person is. This is what this person was hiding or not the whole time, and maybe you can't deal with it. And then like you then it goes to the stage of the setting of the relationship, right? Which would be um, uh, the the resentful part, the angry part, what I mean, all of that, the things in you that like feel the angriest about it, right? And so these are the stages of the relationship, right? But this joint sits in the middle of this emotional shift that he is setting the stage for. You can see he relates the whole relationship motif with like how he's making the music. There's cracks in it. There's like certain moments that are like the imperfections are almost like it's almost like when you listen to like vinyl, right? Well, I didn't listen to this on vinyl, but like when you listen to vinyl, the cracks that you kind of hear help endear you to the track that you're listening to. So it's that sort of thing. It's more like where he's showing this concept that he's building here, and this is more show than tell on this whole thing. But the music is great, um, and even though the themes may go through like some dark moments, you're still like the title says, moving towards love, right? You're moving that way. It's leaning in the direction of love. But this project is making it explicit and asking you to lock in and to actually pay attention to it right now, right? So we could like get into the next stage of what like this relationship may be. Production wise, the project stays focused. Everything feels placed where it's supposed to be. A couple of things do stand out. First of all, the features we got Eric Bellinger, Buddy Kaz, Winnie is on this joint. Each feature brings something different emotionally. Nothing feels thrown in just for to fill space. The sequencing carries throughout. So listen to it from top to bottom. There's a couple of tracks that I would suggest that if you want to get it, if you want to dabble, if you're not familiar with Reason's work, um, maybe jump into Humble 'em, right? Humble 'em is dope. This one is a self check. Even this is Reason pulling the mirror closer. The tone is reflective. The cadence is measured, and the writing leans into accountability without losing its edge. It's a great entry point if you want to understand the emotional maturity of this chapter of the series. Doing too much shows up where what is doing too much? Doing too much is the sixth track on this thing. The production is smooth, the writing is sharp. Um, it's warm on the surface, but it cuts deeper the more you sit with it. Like listen to this. I'd rather fly you to Bahamas with no drama in that mode. Have a secret love thing where we never tell a soul. I protect you. You protect me if you let me. We get lost in this moment if you ready. Regretting nothing. We both grown, shorty. I built you up, but not the one to build a home, shorty. I'm trying to protect your feelings most and trying to get you to the peak without getting close. So let me in and let my tongue be your favorite rose. Rose is a pleasure toy if you are not familiar. When you listen to this, you probably are. You're old enough. You'll get your treasure at the end like a pot of gold, but let's keep it low. This ain't too personal. Between us, they don't need to know. You already know my vibe. Let's just have a real good time. This ain't too personal. Between us, they don't need to know. So baby, let us see that side. Relax and have a good time. So here we're like, this is the dude that's like, hey, we got a good thing going. In this particular song, he's like, we got a good thing going. Let's not fuck up the vibe. Let's not get too deep. Let's let's just have. Are we having a good time? Let's just have fun and stay in the moment and forget all of these tropes and all of these where we're supposed to be at this particular stage of our relationship and all that kind of stuff. Bro, just chill. I could be flying you out and we could just be like we just having a good time drinking somewhere off in some island or something like that. And now you're doing too much. Now you're doing too much. Money Cash Holes is a dope one because this is kind of like the parallel to the previous track because in here you have a monologue by who is this monologue? I think that's on this joint. What is it? Money Cash Holes. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The the whole in particular is Reason himself. So see, it's not problematic like you might think. But the hold on, where's the lyric? Let me pull up the lyrics for this joint. Oh, I ain't got the lyrics here. Okay, no, I was looking up. So I think it's Junie. I think Junie is the artist that says this particular monologue where she flips it on him, and she goes, she says, "You pulling up, you pulling up to family functions, dapping up my cousins and my uncles. That's when I thought it was just us." Uh, and so because she's saying throughout the whole thing, like, bro, we really could have just been on some friends with benefits type shit. We really could just keep it real, keep it solid on what keep it solid on where we are in terms of this relationship. But like, okay, I thought this is what we're doing, friends with benefits. Now look at you. You acting like you really want to be the one. So I start feeling like, okay, maybe this guy's the one. Right. And then now I'm get catching feelings. Now now we going what do you call it? Like we going out for real, right? So okay, you know what this reminds me of? Fine, I'll do it myself. I'll have to be the one to I don't know what I'm gonna break. It's not breaking it down, but like, okay, so this is what she said. Cheating had me around your whole family playing house. Got cold feet. Holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous? Bitch, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. Okay. I'm sorry, Megan. I'm sorry you're going through that. I mean, Megan has gone through a lot, right? From the Tory situation, you know what I mean? Her parents, she don't really have a family like that, you know. And so she's looking for connection, you know what I mean? And it seems like connection in all the wrong places. With that said, I I don't think I think okay again these parasocial relationships. I don't think what happened like I don't think it all the way went down like that, right? I think that it sounds to me well at least in the terms of way like people are interpreting it, and everybody's going crazy calling Clay a cheater, and he has a history apparently. And on the men's side, they all busy calling Megan all kinds of names and stuff like that, and calling her and really just degrading her, right? Especially because these people that's already been on the Tory Lane's tip are gonna take a victory lap anytime she's going through something. So I'm not part of that group, but what I'm just saying here is that I think this may have been a situation of miscommunication. I think to me it sounds like what happened according to her words here. Like you don't know that you can be monogamous, So that sounds to me like they had a conversation. Finally, they finally had a conversation about, do we want to go together? Do we go together? You know what I mean? Like exclusively kind of thing. And he said something like, I don't know if I could be monogamous. He said that. I believe that's what he said. When she said, she's like, do you want to go together? When she was like, okay, what are we doing? We're playing, you're meeting my uncles, like the song says, right? You know what I'm saying? You meet my uncles, and you meet my cousins, dapping up my uncles and everything. Again, we were talking about Money Cash Hoes, which is on Reasons Project. Uh, and so, you know, she was going through all that too with Clay. They had all kinds of Instagrams and posts and all that kind of stuff, all kinds of social media stuff where they around each other, families and stuff. And like, I mean, I think dudes should be doing that sometimes. And like the family may think that like he's always just brought his girlfriends around. So it's like um that don't mean you just the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if you meet the family that means that much, right? Especially at a big age like he's probably like 30 something, by now. I think he's like 30 something, right? And it's like the family's just used to him bringing another girlfriend around. That's all it is. But for you interpreting it as this is like profound. He's bringing me to meet the family. Like this is like, and in the track, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's dapping up your cousins and your uncles because like he's a good dude. He's like makes friends, where he goes, what I mean? He's sociable. So, you the one that brought him there. I'm sure he ain't like, oh, why you ain't let me meet your family? You know what I mean? Like, you brought him there to meet, to the cookout, whatnot. He shows up and he's a good guy. And he generally makes friends where he goes and he's dapping people up and stuff. And that don't, why y'all gotta have the conversation, is what I'm saying. Now, once you have the conversation and somebody still does something that's outside the confines of y'all's agreement, whether y'all was poly or monogamous or whatever y'all situation was, um, then y'all that's a whole separate conversation. But it's like it seems to me like they just had that conversation, and she's calling it cheating because she's seeing it as like she thought in her mind already that they were exclusive, but he was like, "You just know the shorty I'm dating." You know what I mean? Like, and so like, I go from city to city and I date. I ain't locked down nobody. Like, if you don't got a ring, fiance status at least, um, I haven't been exclusive. This dude's been rich forever, and he's been a star forever, and he's been great in the NBA forever, multiple championships, like like generational wealth already. Yeah, he been had generational wealth. He was born into it, and now he has even more. And so it's like, and it's a bad time, And you know what the thing is like he always, because we don't hear from him too much with a lot of like sideline stuff. We think that he's just like a generally a good guy. At least other men see him as generally a good guy. You know what I mean? He don't have Anthony Edwards problems. You know what I'm saying? You don't got like um Kawhi Leonard problems. Shout out to Pablo Torre with his Pulitzer recently. You know what I mean? Like he's just generally a good guy, right? Um, like even on court, he's not Draymond. You know what I mean? So people see him as a good guy, and so yeah, you thought that was a good guy. You know what I mean? Like this the guy in your head that you had this frame about, and like you thought he could just fit in that frame, but it don't work like that. It just don't work like that. And I hope Megan gets the time. She says she's just gonna need time for herself. She says, you know what I mean. She needs a break, so hopefully she's getting that, and hopefully she gets it in, and like steps into the next phase. Eyes wide open, just eyes wide open, just like from jump. And if you run into another Clay Thompson, your eyes wide open about it. That's who you want to fuck with because you're in that stage where you're like, I don't mind this sort of thing right now. But in order, I don't want you to be in. I don't want Megan Thee Stallion to have her heart broken again. I don't want her to be in a depressive state. I don't want her to be doubting herself and her worth and her value. She had a whole freaking like Broadway show and everything like that she had going for her, and like she had to cancel I think the rest of the shows. whatnot. So that was like a whole nother platform she was about to be on and just do big things. She's mad talented. She's very talented, great personality. And if that's part of what you need with the talent is the personality. You know what I mean? With it. So she's good on camera. She's good on interviews. She's good live. I want nothing but the best for Megan. Um, but like there's still some personal growth that's needed, like self worth type growth, and I hope she gets that. I hope she gets what she need with that. But pretty much some people was doing too much, which is all to say. That was the name of the track. Eric Bellinger's on that joint. Dope one. Oh well, no, Money Cash Holes what I'm talking about, but back to back, Money Cash Holes and doing too much. It encapsulates all of that what I just talked about. Those two tracks, so definitely check those out. Um, the overall vibe of this project is warm. It's reflective. It's constantly moving. It's not overly sad, although it's going through some of those, like some traumatic spots here. Like I just freaking pointed out, it's not overly polished. It's just a human experience. It's just a human project. Very real. It feels like someone trying to understand relationships in real time. They're trying to figure it out, just like the rest of us. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out in real time. We're trying to do the best we can. Like, especially if you have good intentions, you're just trying to do your best. Sometimes you fall short. Sometimes you don't read this person's mind. They want you to read their mind. Sometimes you don't show up as your best self, which is what the representative was doing when you was early on. But that joint get tiring, right? That joint get tired. So it's like I want to be my true authentic self, but at least if you at the same time are trying to also be just a good person, then eventually those two will synchronize, right? And both y'all can show up y'all best selves in this relationship. This album hits the best when you're in one of those stages where it's like, you know what? I'm resetting. I'm building now. I am cleaning out my closet. Shout out to Eminem. Maybe you're journaling. Maybe you're having an unfollow session on social media. I had one of those. I had one of those specifically like monthly when I used to be on Facebook back in the day. I haven't been on Facebook in like 10 years, but when I was on, after having like thousands of like quote unquote friends and followers and whatnot, I I took a monthly like like spring cleaning or something, and it's just like, um, who is this person? There'll be somebody like an ex, her like roommate, and I was friends with her roommate, and like, so it's like I never really have a relationship with you anyways, and like it was the ex, and I don't follow the ex no more. I don't want to know what's going on with you. Go be great. We over. You right? Um, but then like I'm still got friends with like the her roommate. So I'm like no. So I would do that like once a month on Facebook, and like I'll have like a quota of like I'll go through my whole friend list, right? I'll have a quota and I'll make sure I do like and I'll go into the profile and I'll be like, do I keep this relationship? Do I not? You know what I mean? Maybe they might be solid for another whatever. So I do that, and maybe get rid of like 50 people, 50 to 100 people. I don't know if I get to 100 up to 100. I probably get up to like 50 people. So this project would be great as the like the song for that. Cleaning out that closet, cleaning out that having a social media cleanse. Maybe you're taking a break from social media. Basically, you're trying to clear your head after things have changed. The music lands harder when you're already thinking about what deserves space in your life, what deserves your time, and things that you may need to like do away with that's no longer serving you.
It's challenge day.